changed up a lot, you know. It's there like it used to be, like the days I used to go and they change, because they changed it up and they put it in a little circle. But this year they try to do something different.
So it's no longer on the street downtown?
It is, but it used to be along a long avenue.
I know it's going to be on the street downtown and the point to Lake Shore.
This is what the office number or cell number? Okay, what actually I'm here to be interviewed as well by other media persons. Yes, good morning all. The name is Ahmad Mohammed, Branch President, Trinidad Cement Limited, Oilfield Workers Trade Union, local branch. We are here this morning essentially protesting the gross and blatant disrespect of the company's management to the workers, firstly, of Trinidad Cement Limited, and secondly to the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, where the entire union's central executive met yesterday of love letters at this stage is not really solving any issue presently between the parties, between the company and the workers and the union. Workers' business is of paramount importance, and for it to be resolved, we must actually come together, we must meet so that we will be able to bring resolution to any or all of those matters. Of course, no one is dictating that any particular matter must be treated with first or last. In fact, the prioritization of any such matters and those concerns of the workers and the company ought to be treated with bilaterally, and a decision made as to what priority that we would be placing on those matters. Also, the burning question for Trinidad Cement Limited, we are literally under the gun at the moment from all angles, from the company's new management, the transitioning really to embrace some new process or structure which the company has not yet shared, because their redundancy notice sent to the union, and by the way, not to any worker just yet, is really not really consistent with what would have been sent to the union last November as their purported and proposed restructuring plans. Additional to that, from the government of Trinidad and Tobago, through the Customs and Excise Division, the Controller of Customs would have last year reversed a classification ruling where they would have now removed the common external tariff from the imported cement that is currently on our local markets, containing fly ash, and getting through with this, removal of any duty, that 15% imposition of the CET on this imported cement. So they are literally enriching an individual, a sole importer, really, and actually putting our local industry at risk, putting the employees of Trinidad Cement Limited at risk. And really, without any consultation, this action would have been taken. So as a company and as a workforce, we ought to be collaborating at this stage really to fight and challenge this status quo, which is really inimical to the very existence of our industry. And at this stage, we realize, for whatever strange reason, this company's management is not interested really in partnering and collaborating with the union to deal with this threat that we are faced with.
The general manager, what's his name?
The general manager of Trinidad Cement Limited is Mr. Rodolfo Martinez. The managing director is Jose Sehu.
Whose office you all
We are currently awaiting Mr. Rodolfo Martinez, the general manager, to come out and address our central executive officers and the workers who are there and frustrated and angry, and waiting to hear some commitment, at least to get an undertaking from the company to meet with the union. Because if we continue the exchanging of letters, which would have been going on since January of this year, back and forth and pretty much nonsensical, we need to really be mature about this and to bring resolution and to take our business forward and to have workers have some semblance of normalcy in their lives and in their work and so on. And let's get on with the business of the company and the workers.
So you're not there this morning on invitation?
No, this morning the workers, we would have been gathered here at the main entrance of Claxton Bay TCL for our prayer meeting and demonstration. And the workers would have been so incensed when they heard that because of what would have happened is essentially a faux pas on the behalf of on the part of the company in terms of failing to notify the union that they were no longer attending. The union would have indicated the last 3 days of this month to meet, of course us being cognizant that next week is Carnival Week. The last 3 days of this month would have been sent to the company as proposed dates to meet. The workers are saying they are not really willing to wait that long. We had a confirmed meeting for yesterday and they are now demanding that the company's management get serious and get real and seek to meet with our recognized majority union, who are the legal representatives and negotiators for all terms and conditions concerning the company.
Okay. With that step that the workers took this morning, we want to say storming in on the general manager's office, in order to get a word from him. What is the situation on the plant now?
Well, firstly, let me just correct that statement. The workers, we are all employees of Trinidad Cement Limited, and we are entitled to, and we are legitimately entitled to really attend our administration building and attend to the office of the general manager as well to discuss our affairs, because it is our very terms and conditions of employment that is pretty much under threat and in question now. So in terms of getting these answers, it is essentially a peaceful process and a protest, albeit workers being angry and dissatisfied with the current status quo.
So you're trying to say it wasn't as you didn't storm it, you're just exercising your rights?
Exactly. We were in fact exercising our right as workers.
How many workers you would say exercising their right?
Well, this morning I would say it's in the vicinity of 100 workers who are there now in the administration building, and we are waiting on word from the GM, who would have indicated to us earlier that he would need about an hour or so to confer with his management team and to get back to us.
So you didn't tell me again, what is the situation on the plant now? Is production going on? I'm seeing trucks coming out.
Well, at this stage I haven't been to the plant, but as far as we are aware, the operations are in place. The operators would more than likely be at their stations. We are not really, this is not about strike action, because we are not of the view that may be an appropriate action of this time. Of course, the ability and the avenue really to embark upon strike action always remains an option to the union. But at this stage, that is not on our radar in the immediate future.
When you've seen 100 workers at the administration building, would that affect productivity, sir?
Well, the company operates on a 24/7 basis, so we would have a number of workers as well who would have actually finished work this morning, workers who are due to come out to work this afternoon and so on, and again tonight. So a lot of the grouping would be there, as well as other workers who might be able to leave their workstations at this stage are there awaiting word from the GM of the company to know what is really the way forward in terms of treating with our business.
So what's the next step? If you don't get some kind of favorable response? What is the next step for the workers?
Well, at this stage we are essentially, and based on the commitment and undertaking from the general manager, that we will get a response in a bit. That will pretty much dictate the way forward. At this stage I'm unable to say what's the next step.
So you're just waiting on a response?
We're waiting on a response, and that would dictate and determine the way forward.
How long you intend to wait?
Well, until we get that response from the company's management. We are there now. He is there in the office. We're sure that we will be leaving sometime today to depart to his home or his place of abode here in Trinidad. Him not being a national as well.
What would have from the stance that you all take concerning the whole situation that's happening here now? What would have stopped?
We would have had a number of days, the 24th and 25th, which were also confirmed dates, when the union would have confirmed those dates proposed by the company to meet and discuss the issues that are before us now facing the workforce and that the company wished to discuss, which is the said redundancies and any other matter of interest to the company and between the parties. Those dates as well would have not been maintained or honored by the company because of the fact that we would have included in there to meet and treat with on the memorandum of agreement that remains outstanding. One of the salient points as well here is that the current management, the current general manager and others, the managing director and general manager, they are both newcomers really to the organization as well as non-nationals, and they would not have been aware of the impact and the intricacy of such MOA, which is essentially fundamental to the continued existence and the present operation of the company, when the company would have been facing really bankruptcy back in 2014, and workers would have really made immense sacrifices by contributing 20% of their hard-earned monies coming out of a court judgment and court award in June of 2014. So workers would have actually made the decision to vary this court judgment in the interest of the company. And now we are seeing that that has come back to bite us, where workers are now being told that they no longer have jobs, but we are seeing an influx of foreigners really here present on the plant, really. Many of them, well, we're seeing them around in our uniforms and so on, but we're not aware who they are not being introduced. It's pretty much like what our founding father in the country would have said about Massa Days done. It seems as though in TCL, Massa Days has returned. 357-0756.
Say your name once more. Say your name once more.
Ahmed Mohammed.
Ahmed.
Ahmed. A-H-M-A-D. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
No, they come in here, let them come in. Yeah. Straight in the car for him.
Solidarity forever. Sing! Solidarity forever. Our union makes us strong. We'll keep on struggling until we get a better way. We will keep on struggling until we get a better way. Yeah.
Testing. All right. First of all, I want to welcome the media here this morning. My name is Laurent Reno, a worker of Trinidad Cement Limited, electrical plant inspector, and executive trustee of the Oilfields Workers Trade Union. This morning, the reason why we are here is because of the intervention of the workers. Since 2014, the union and the management of Trinidad Cement Limited have been in meeting with a memorandum of agreement, a terms of settlement, and some other outstanding issues, and to date, they are still outstanding. The union wrote the management with respect to meeting since January 2018 to close these issues. The company did not see it fit to respond to the union in a timely manner. The union wrote again, and since the union has written and the union has suggested some dates for us to meet again to close these outstanding issues, the workers this morning, because they are not satisfied and they intervene, the company has decided together with the union to meet this Friday at 9 a.m. at the union's headquarters in order to bring resolution to these outstanding issues. I must thank the workers in a very magnificent way for their intervention, because the management has been for too long delaying the issues with respect to industrial relations and also human relations. So once again, power to the workers of Trinidad Cement Limited. So we look forward this Friday at the union headquarters at 9 a.m. to meet with the management to bring resolution to these outstanding issues.